Hello there. My name is Jadel Glucki, and I am the Development Manager at Horizon International, where we sell our Quality Essential Suite product, which we call QES for short. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use our test plan entry functionality and some of the features that it can provide. This new functionality was built for customers who require testing on their lot numbers at different times on an ongoing basis. For example, a company that produces PVC pipe, they extrude the PVC pipe all day and consider it to be a single lot number. Certain testing needs to occur on an hourly basis, and testing needs to occur every, say, 10,000 pounds for item A to B, C, and if they're building item XYZ, every 5,000 pounds. Because of the long time frame in testing, they want to make sure that any testing that needs to be done during the entire day gets done properly and when it is supposed to. Because we have two items that require testing at different times, what we're going to do is we're going to create two inspections for each of these events and assign a frequency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my inspection entry, and currently we already have this AA base data inspection set up. So I'm going to use that one, and if you'll notice, the frequency is per 10,000 pounds. So that's our 10,000 pounds, for item ABC that needs to be tested on a recurring basis. So let's create the inspection for the 5,000 pound base data test. So I say new, and we'll call it AB base data. The second inspection with 5,000 lbs frequency. You don't have to put the frequency in the description. I'm just doing that for fun. So one of the things that I noticed is that we need to add a frequency of 5,000 pounds. So let's do that now. So I go into the system and the system code entry, and I simply type in frequency, and it's an inspection, or it's a system code here. So we have all of these different frequencies. So I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to call it every 5,000 lbs. This test happens every 5,000 lbs of PVC pipe. And just to keep consistency, it's per 5,000 pounds and a period after okay. So the sort order is 2. I'm going to save this. So now if I close this and I hit refresh on my inspection entry, so now if I look at this, there's the per 5,000 pounds. So I'm going to add the per 5,000 pounds, okay, and I'm going to save this record. So now we should have AA base data and AB base data. So let's take a look at the tests that are on AA base data. So it average thickness, minimum thickness, and maximum thickness. So for this 5,000 test, let's say that we only have to test one of these things. So the minimum thickness, just to make sure that it's the bare minimum is being met. So I'm going to go to the AB, and I'm going to go minimum. Okay, and then I hit add. I really like these filter boxes so that you can quickly get to the records that you need to see. So we have the minimum thickness test on there, and then we're also going to attach it to an item, and it's AB plastic flake. Add. Okay, so now I'm going to save this. So that's all we really have to do for setup. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the test plan entry form. Okay, and where's the test plan entry form? And what you do is you generate a plan ID. And the plan ID basically just groups all of these different documents together to make it easier to find. Now, the other thing about a plan ID is that it shares common aspects with the all-in-one results header records. So for example, the item number, the reference number, the batch quantities, the complete buy, the plan description, and the plan status. So all of these things, if you enter them in, it's going to create, when it creates documents, each one of those documents is going to have this particular information. So I'm going to create the AB plastic flake item, or I'm going to use the AB plastic flake, complete by, say, next week. Time is, 5 o'clock p.m. This is my first test plan. All right. So now I'm going to generate the plan. So I click on generate plan, and it creates the plan. Now I can edit plan details if you want, and you can modify some of this information like the description or the complete by date, etc., etc. So now what I want to do is I want to generate my result documents and attach them to this plan. So I make sure that the plan is the one that's selected, and I click generate result documents. Okay, so item number, batch quantity, again, all of these things will be on every single one of the documents that gets created. So if I choose a lot number, if we're testing ABWK001, when I create different testing documents, they'll all have the same lot number on those documents. So the complete by date, let's say the 31st again. If you have a tracking number, you can enter it now. So, tracking 1, 2, 3. The production date, if you have user-defined fields on your all-in-one results, they will show here. So you can pick a line, sampled by, tester number 1, and approved badge ID. So you can pick a person. Now, this is where it makes it easy for you to understand which test to create. Because we put a frequency of 10,000 pounds and 5,000 pounds, if right now I'm ready to test the 5,000 pounds, basically I can just say, AB base data, and I hit add. Now, what if I'm on my second 5,000 pounds? That means that I really should be testing the 10,000 pounds as well. So I'll add that inspection as well. So if you wanted to add one of the hourly tests, you could do that. But for now, we're just going to have these two. So now I'm going to hit generate docs. All right, so this is pretty cool because it shows you the documents that were generated based on this test plan. And it shows the documents, the user-defined fields, some of the more important information. The other thing is that the frequency, it tells you that, hey, every 10,000 pounds or every 5,000 pounds, you need to do this testing. So now you can use this form. You don't actually have to open up the all-in-one results entry window to do the testing. You can click on enter results. And what happens is it opens up a window that is really a copy of the all-in-one results entry, except it doesn't have a lot of the fields that make the form look a little busier. This is a very streamlined form to make it easier for data entry. So the value, so thickness, upper limit is 14.40. So let's go 15.01. Oh, I'm sorry. These are base data calculations. So if you have your test set up as base data, you can't enter in the values, and that makes complete sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some base data. Now the base data allows you to create a test that takes a few other values and it puts them together, and this one will calculate the average of all these numbers that I put in here. And I believe that if I do it too quickly, so I have two values, if I click OK, it tells me that, hey, I need 6 minimum base data values. So I click OK, and now I can click on base data entry again, and I need to put a few more values in here. So I need a minimum of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I click OK. Now what it does is it's calculating the base data. So it takes all of these numbers, it creates an average, the minimum, and the maximum. Okay. Now, because all of the tests are entered in, it asks me if I'd like to move to history, and I'll say yes. Okay, so now I can close this because I'm done my testing, and now I would do the per 5,000 pounds test. So I would enter results. Okay, and this same thing. It's a base data test. So I'm gonna go enter base data. Let's make this pass. So it needs to be largest is 12.8 it can be, and the minimum is 10.8. So let's go 11, 11.5, 10.8, 10.3, and 11.5. And finally, what's the maximum? Upper is 12.8, so we'll go 12.7. So we have 6 values. I click OK. So now the minimum thickness is 10.30. Again, it asks me to move to history, and I say yes. Okay, so now I can close. And we're pretty much done with the functionality. It allows you to group things together. Okay, so you can have a bunch of different test plans in here. So if it's the next hour of testing, I would, generate a new plan. The other thing you can do is you can click generate result documents if it's the next hour, and simply add another document onto the current test plan. So let's say it's the hour, so you can double click as well. Okay, so AA color, I double click, and then I generate documents. So now we're gonna have 4. So now we have 4 result documents. And yeah, so notice also how it says tests remaining. It means that we've entered the results for all tests on this document. This particular document 63 has 4 tests remaining. Okay, this one has 3. So it just means that, hey, you're not finished all of your testing. One other thing that we can do is we can manually add test results. So if you've created documents and maybe you didn't use the test plan entry process to do so, what you can do is you can click on the test plan itself and say manual results add. Then you can scroll through here and pick whichever document you want. So there's the AB plastic flake, and I click OK. So then what happens is it adds that document to the test plan. So that allows you to add extra stuff if it happens to not be created on that particular test plan. Now, lastly, there's the new lot number. So while you're generating this plan and generating your results documents, if the lot number doesn't exist, you can click on new lot number and quickly create the lot number from this window instead of going into the operational data and the items form. All right, so in this quick video, I've shown you how to generate the plan ID. You can edit the plan details after the fact. You can generate result documents to link all of these documents into this test plan. You can manually add results into the test plan if you created it outside of the test plan entry window. You can create new lot numbers, on this form, and yeah, basically keep track of your testing on particular items and lot numbers. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.